Hi, this is PY Wong from Pendidikan Malaysia. You have watched the video 0.77 minute plus all the other videos. What really is the issue? The issue is the electoral system, a system that is Sesat. What are the main issues? Polling station layout, time for voting, indelible ink, phantom voters, hidden dot, pre-marking of ballot papers, height and orientation of voting counter screen, election costs. Most of these issues are interlinked. By itself, it may not amount to much, but combined together, they create an overwhelming advantage for certain parties. Let me summarize. Polling station layout. A typical polling station serves 700 voters in 9 hours. On average, a voter has only 0.77 minutes to vote. This is very tight and leaves no room for hiccups. Look at this layout gazetted by the SPR. The voter flow is in a zigzag pattern to block the line of sight of the polling agent. It is even worse if there are two voter queues, as in Pengundi Serentak. We have studied this procedure in the SPR training video for their KTM. We hope it will not be implemented. Polling agent cannot monitor KP1 to see whether a voter has an ink marking on his finger or whether KP1 is really matching the my card with the face of the voter. To make it worse, the SPR introduced KP2 to apply indelible ink before voting instead of after voting, as in most countries around the world. The UNDP guide recommends that the ink be exposed to light for at least 30 seconds. If a voter waits for that, it will jam up the whole process, and under a worst-case scenario, less than 50% of the voters will get to vote. You have waited 5 years to vote. Do you want to lose your vote because of a poor system design? What are the easy excuses? They say not all voters will come up to vote. What do they mean by that? 5%, 10%, or 90%? Let's say 80%, 560 voters. The Deputy EC Chairman claims that each voter has 3 minutes to vote. 3 minutes times 560 is 1,680 minutes, 28 hours. It's an easy planning to hold elections over 3 days. What the EC should do is plan for 100% turnout and not pray that not all the voters will turn out. What can the EC do? Show us how each voter can have 3 minutes to vote. 3 minutes per voter means 35 hours. Even with parallel processing of voters, we may cut by half to 17.5 hours. The EC should demonstrate a full-scale trial to convince the public that this can be achieved. They should not wait until polling day to find out. The time taken must take into account interaction and objection by the voters. To make the paper flow process more efficient, we propose a model that flows in a circle. Get the pass to help the KPs by sitting them together. That way, they can inspect the fingers, compare the face with the my card, and help screen out phantoms. KP2 is eliminated, saving 7 million ringgit and cutting off 30,000 postal voters. KP3 does not fold the ballot paper. It is not required under Regulation 19 of the Conduct of Elections. KP4 is to ensure the voter dips his finger in indelible ink after voting. Is that the voter may refuse to mark his finger after voting. Malaysians are by and large very law-abiding. If they are asked to mark, they will mark. In any case, there is a policeman waiting outside, so they will cooperate. The voting counter screen should be reduced to 300 mm or rotated so that the voter is under continuous observation. He cannot bring in ballot papers from outside and hide it in the folded ballot paper like this. Provide an opaque ballot box so that the voter does not need to fold and unfold the ballot paper. After casting the vote, KP4 should clean the finger of the voter with a cleansing solution to remove any pre-coating. The voter dips his finger into a bottle of indelible ink for 1 minute. After that, he waits for 1 minute to allow the ink to dry. This way, you avoid smudging of the ballot paper and delay the polling process. Phantom voters. This is an issue of fraudulent electoral roll. First, the EC chairman claims that Malaysia has the cleanest rolls in the world. After months of stalling, thousands of complaints by the public, the political parties, and even the Selangor state government, finally, they admit that there may be some mistakes in the electoral roll, but they still refuse to take action against the perpetrators. Parliament is now dissolved. It is too late to talk. The only solution is for full voter turnout and for the polling stations to be manned by honest, competent polling agents. We hope they can spot and deter these phantom voters from voting. Vote early to prevent your vote from being stolen by phantoms. Hidden dot. Pre-marking of ballot paper can only be done by people who have access to the ballot papers. You know who lah. You have to protect yourself by not letting KP3 fold your ballot paper. If KP3 refuse, don't argue. Unfold the ballot paper and inspect it carefully to make sure that it's clean. For this election, the EC is going to use ballpoint pens. Why? You will not be able to tell the difference between a ballpoint pen marking and a pre-printed marking. Election cost. Malaysia's projected election cost is going to be $17 per voter. It's 4 times the 2008 election budget. Is this high or low? Compare election costs around the world. According to UNDP, IFES, these are the costs incurred by other countries in US dollar per voter. India, Pakistan, less than $1. South American countries, less than $2.30. US, Australia, $3. Russia, $7.50. Palestinian territories, $9. Excuse me, our EC is spending nearly double that of the Palestinians who are under a state of siege. Is anyone oppressing us, the Zulus? Then we have Afghanistan, $20. Angola, $22. Clearly, our budget is exorbitant and unacceptable. We are in the league of the war-torn countries. If there is a change of government after GE13, the people must demand that the EC be called to account over their wastefulness. To the EC officers, we are in this together. The future of the nation is at stake. We appeal to you. Carry out your duties honestly and impartially so that we can elect honest politicians to run the country. Otherwise, the country will go bankrupt. We also wish to remind you, if any EC officer were to break the election laws, he could be fined, jailed, or suffer both jail and fine. To the voter, your vote will decide the future of the nation. You must vote for a party that can offer you free and fair elections. It's clear that the EC and the incumbent is going all out to prevent that. You should know what to do with your vote. Finally, before you enter the polling station, make sure that your finger is clean. No nail polish, no stain from whatever sources. Do not allow anyone to mark your finger before you enter the polling station. Otherwise, you may lose your right to vote. Vote wisely for your future. Vote wisely for your children's future. Vote wisely for the nation's future.